Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Wayne's World of Science and Technology. Today, we're going to talk about, the One Piece rebellions again. I've been looking at population pyramids. This is Italy. Italy, you notice, has a very low birth rate, and really, the share of population that makes up the 15 to 24-year-old, well, let's call it 15 to 29-year-old range, is relatively small compared to the rest of the population. If we go to the United States, the population pyramid looks a bit better. And the reason it looks a bit better is the United States has had a fair bit of immigration, and we're still, they're still feeling the echoes of the baby boom. We go to France, you notice that France has basically a similar pyramid to the United States. Now, France is the first one of these places where One Piece is, that I'm mentioning, where One Piece has made its mark. It's not the only place. It's not wasn't the first place, but if you look at it, there is a bulge here in that critical age range, which is the ones who are most likely to be into anime and manga, and therefore know about One Piece. We go to Bangladesh, and it's like, holy cow! Look at the number of people in that age range. That's a huge chunk of the population. Now, Bangladesh didn't actually put the One Piece flag up. They were before that, but what was driving the One Piece rebellions is what drove what's going on in Bangladesh. It's the same population of people reacting for similar reasons. We go to Morocco, which is another place where it's happened, and again, you notice that the critical age range is pretty large. Madagascar has been buying a One Piece flag, and again, that critical age range is huge. Philippines, similar thing. There's a lot of people in that critical age range. Indonesia, again, there's a lot of people in that age range. Nepal, again, a lot of people in that age range. Now, these people are likely to know anime and manga, so they know One Piece. The other thing is that these people are almost chronically online. The older generations don't quite understand how much communication goes on between these groups in different countries. The people in Nepal are talking to the people in Indonesia, who are talking to the people in the Philippines, they're talking to the people in Madagascar, talking to people in Morocco, and they're talking to people in countries that have more functional democracies that have better opportunities for youth, like Canada, or for that matter, Italy. Italy has a labor shortage. So there's basically this huge number of people worldwide who feel that society is not treating them properly. Society is betraying them, and they are motivated to act. And there are a lot of symbols in manga and anime which are very moral, I guess is the best way of putting it, about doing the right thing. The hero who does the right thing, even if it costs them. It's a common theme. They're willing to take that theme and apply it to daily life. and they talk to each other. So they know that what's going on in their countries isn't what's going on everywhere, that it doesn't have to be that way. And that knowledge is powerful. And from that, we can take a couple of key points. Which countries are likeliest to be hit, or which regions are likeliest to be hit? And Northern America has a more or less, well, Canada has a functional democracy. I'm not so sure about the United States right now. And yeah, I know I'm going to get a lot of argument out of people from the United States, but there are some serious problems there. Northern Europe, again, there aren't a lot of people in those age ranges, and Northern Europe is a place that generally is fairly equitable. Northern Africa, uh-oh. Remember the Arab Spring? The only place that really took to any degree was Tunisia, but it's ripe for a comeback. If you look at those numbers, it is ripe for a comeback. And this is true of a lot of other places in the world. If you look at sub-Saharan Africa, the number of youths is absolutely massive compared to the number of older people. And in a lot of these places, things are not going the way they want them to go. They aren't happy. If they're connected to the world and able to communicate, they're taking lessons from what they're seeing elsewhere, and they're going to be applying them. I have no idea where this is going to go. Like, for example, in Nepal, apparently the military is effectively in control at the present time, and the same in Madagascar. You know, 5 or 10 years, maybe we'll have an idea. But I know that things are likely to get really exciting over the next 5 years in places where there are large youth populations and where they have the ability to communicate. Really authoritarian places, no, you're not going to see this. In places with massively aging populations like China, you're not going to see it. In other places, oh boy, life could get exciting. Anyways, that's it for now, folks. Like, share, subscribe, and all that guff. You got something out of it, and have a nice day. Bye bye.